Okay, this is a 2010 Kawasaki Teryx, and recently I had a leaking rear oil seal, and there wasn't any videos on YouTube, so I thought I'd put one on. Up here, this was a seal that was leaking, and you can kind of see where the oil was and all that stuff. I had a lot of problems finding the part number. So the part number is 92049-0095, and obviously to get it out, it's not that tough. You just take these the lower shields out, and what you got to do is compress this shaft together to pull the shaft out, and then you can get the seal in there. And the seal's not difficult to pull out, but basically you pull this cut back, and there's a split ring in there that you gotta slide back. I don't know how well this tells, but pull this back, and there's a split ring in there, and you split it and pull it back, and then use your trusty split ring pliers that you can get at the parts house. They're not that expensive. And then you got to slide this back towards the transmission, or towards the rear differential. And I'd seen a guy who was prying on it with like this. Well, what I did was I took a motorcycle tire iron, and I had the shaft a little different there, but I just kind of slid it up. I'll do it over here. Slid it up and caught on one of the bars. I don't know how well you can see it. And got a hold of it, and I think this side was turned over here, and I just pushed, and it slid right up out of the way, and I was able to work it out. It's not that big a deal. It's pulls out. There's I don't know how well you can see it in there, but it's spring loaded, so you let the spring pull out, and then you can pull the back one out to give yourself some extra room. It's not a big deal. I did pull the fluids out of the differential and the engine, before I did it, just so I wouldn't have a mess everywhere. So then to get that those out, I don't know how much people would think about it, but I went ahead and drilled a small hole, put some grease on the end of a drill bit, drilled a small hole in the seal here and seal here, and used some pliers and just basically pried the screws out and popped that seal off, put a little oil around it, and then used a big socket, used the old seal, flipped it around on top of it, took a big socket, and got a little bit of a half-inch drive on it with a hammer, and just kind of hammered it in there, and got it all flush. And then putting it back in, just reverse the steps, stick that back drive shaft in. I put some grease on the shaft, just some fresh grease, slid it up on there, and used the just kind of pried in there with that big tire iron, and it all went back together. It wasn't really that big a deal. The biggest thing was finding the seal. And you can get them from Partzilla. I went to my local Kawasaki dealer, and because what I ordered from Partzilla was wrong, and it was just they happened to have it on the shelf. So the Grapevine Kawasaki, they were awesome to work with, and helped me figure out the right part, etc. So not that big a deal to do. You make sure you get the right part number, which I gave at the front. Compressing the drive shaft wasn't that big a deal. Easy thing to do. 2010 Teryx, good luck.